All right, test drive unlimited solar crown. I'm kind of taking a break. You know, I might do some trim here and there. Look at all the camber on our wheels. See that? The camber. Hell yeah. So look, I messed with this on stream 2 nights ago. There's some things about this. All right, there's some things. It's gonna bog in the tune I have for it, right? Off the launch. All right. Now watch, if I switch to a different tune, watch how much harder it takes off. Ready? Doesn't bog as much. Now, I got 2 tunes for you for this thing. I'm ready to release them. Now, the weird thing is with this car, let's just show you something. Create new driving mode, stock. You know what? Let's delete that. Let's go to circuit, right? Let me show you something. Now, this is classified as a 4-wheel drive vehicle, all-wheel drive, right? Do you see anything here that looks off to you? Do you see central differential? Front rear power distribution. Do you know what 100% means? That means it is full rear wheel drive. I don't know why. I don't know who's trolling. I don't know what's going on. But even though this is an all-wheel drive car, stock without any tunes on it, it is 100% rear wheel drive. So you've got 2,700 horsepower, almost 3,000 torque, and it's all going to the rear wheels. It is acting like a rear wheel drive car. So my tunes fix this, makes it way easier to drive, makes it very controllable. It's just, I don't know if nobody's looked at this, nobody's made a custom tune. Well, you're pretty much screwed. I don't know why it's classified as all-wheel drive. Even some of the other all-wheel drives are like 90% rear-wheel drive, only 10% front. So you bump that up, you make it a 70-30 or like a 60-40 or even a 50-50, and the car's just handled so much better, right? I do that in Motorfest as well. So I just want to point that out before we get started here. We're going to delete that. I'm not going to show you the car in action, all right? You can see the streams for that. I will give you top speed first, all right? Top speed is, here's the thing. I don't like to use traction control. Sometimes it's faster to use traction control. Sometimes it's faster to not use traction control. This rear end does get a little wild from time to time, okay? Now, all this is with max parts, all right? Because I know people ask. If you bump the traction control up to 25%, you will lose a little bit of launch, all right? But in corners, you have a little bit more stability. All right, so keep that in mind. If you need to bump this to a 25%, I wouldn't go more than that. You're going to start limiting your power. I don't like to use it, but if you want to use 25% on this car, go for it, okay? So, top speed tune. Make sure you select all custom down here and go into edit. This is what I have for the gear ratios, all right? Copy it. I'll leave it up for like 5 seconds, all right? All right, downforce. This is where I'm at. Anything more, anything less, you just really can't, because I mean, this thing really shines top end. It just hits some high speeds. The more you go to the positive, the more top speed you can get out of it, but the less grip you have. And if you want to bump traction control up to 25%, maybe in 50%, and then bump these all the way up to 1. Like if you look here, okay, we're at 4 and 4. If we bump these up to full 1 and 1, I mean, you can get more top end for the straights for like the Crown Jewel Jade. That's up to you. And then maybe have traction control to kind of help you because you're losing downforce, you're losing traction. So that's, if you want to do that, can we not save this? No. Okay. So if that's something you want to do, go for it. Stability is what I got. Copy it. Okay, and then of course the last one was 90. I kept it kind of loose just because the car feels very snappy. So I kind of downgraded everything so it feels a little bit more smooth and fluid. Yeah. I might tweak it a little more here and there, but for the most part, I'm pretty happy with where this is. Now, I have this as a 50-50 split. You got 50% of the power going to the front and 50% going to the rear versus 100% rear, which is how it is stock, okay? My grip tune is a little different than this, but you will bog a little bit on the launch, all right, with this, but it makes up for it in the corners. Trust me. You feel a huge difference with the rear not sliding out, okay? So there's that. Rear differential, what I got. Big camber. Shout out to Hydro. Because I've been thinking about bumping the camber all the way to like -6 to try it. He was like -4 to -3 seems to be the sweet spot. So I've been bumping some cars up to that, and it definitely turns in better. So shout out to Hydro, all right? Hell yeah. But that's what I got. I kept the roll bars pretty low just because it's too snappy when you increase those, right? Kind of lock in the rear acceleration. At least we think 100 is lock. 0 seems to be open. I don't know. It's hard to tell, man. And then braking. This is what I got. And that's it for the top speed tune. Okay, grip. Notice a big difference in top speed. Was that 48 miles per hour? And with this, we're right under a second, 0 to 37. And it's pretty crazy, right? So grip tune. Okay, same thing. Make sure they're all custom down here, and then edit. What I have for the gear ratios. Everybody asks me, why do you do that second gear? Because second gear in like every car in this game is way too short. Like some cars, like you only get like 10 miles per hour out of second gear. So I lengthen it and, you know, go from there. It's just one of those things, you know, one of those things that just doesn't really make sense. And also, gearing is bad. We already know all the tuning's backwards. I've said it a million times, right? So there's that. And then we're full negative downforce, okay? Makes this thing very, very grippy. It's still a handful. It's still got a ton of power, right? But it makes it easier to drive. Stability. That's what we got. Full low, okay? Full low. And then here's all the spring stuff. Pretty low. Like I said, it's same thing with the top speed. It's very twitchy at top speed. And I have a lot of people like asking me. I'll show you what I do with like my stick in a second. Okay, we got that handling. Now notice on this, I am 60% rear, 40% front. Now this launches a lot harder. You can even go 70-30 if you want and get it to launch a little harder, but the more you go towards rear wheel drive, the more crazy the rear is going to get and slide out on you, okay? So that's what I have for that. Rear differential. A little bit stronger on the roll bars for this since you need it a little bit for the cornering, but I mean, this thing goes so fast. It's crazy. All right, we added a little bit more front camber on this thing. And braking. What we got? Okay, got it. Good. Yeah, so basically, no, don't save. Basically what I do, pull this up here. Everybody's asking me, right? So I got the stick, and most people probably just keep going like this, and like they turn and they kind of like snap it like that. In this game, if you slightly move it just a little bit, the car will turn. Like you can finesse around the corners with a slight movement. So if you can learn to finesse the stick like that instead of just like kind of going like this and kind of like there's times where I'll go like that, right? But if you can finesse it, it's a lot smoother. It's kind of hard to do. Takes a while to get used to, but you can do that. All right. But yeah, 918. What tune we got on? Let's put on the grip tune and rip it. Right. This thing's just so fast. I don't have my headset on, I can't hear the engine sounds. But see how like even there, the rear gets like real loose. If you turn on the traction control, it will get better. I guess we can do that real quick. how more stable that rear is. I mean, it does limit some power, but you're not going to notice too much. It's like one of those things where it's like a very slight difference, but you will notice. I just prefer it to be off. I'd rather just correct it myself, you know. But yeah, there you go. There's my two setups, top speed and grip. I think top speed goes over 350 miles per hour, but feels way better. So, you know, get in there, try it. This might get nerfed in a few days when they drop that patch. We don't know. I mean, even if they nerf the power, these tunes are probably still going to be pretty good. We might have to make some adjustments, but we'll go from there. Anyway, you know the drill. Subscribe, come back. See you on the next one.